Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at Anansi Charter School. I want to thank the Anansi Charter School and staff for hosting the Taos School Board. It's always an honor to be hosted here and also at Taos Charter School. We appreciate the work that our charter schools do for the community, the families of the students that they represent. So again, I want to thank Anansi and their staff. We thank all our administrators and guests that are joining us tonight. Today is Wednesday, March 20th, 2024. We are here for a regular Taos Municipal School Board of Education meeting. For the record, it is 6:13 p.m. I would like to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, if I could please get a roll call.
Member Concha? Here. Member King?
Here.
Secretary Trujillo? Vice President Sprague? Here. President Flores?
Here. And Secretary Trujillo contacted me. She's running a little bit late, so she should be joining us shortly. The next item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is here to my left. If you can please stand. Vice President Sprague, would you listen to the pledge?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Vice President Sprague. There's some goodies in the back for our guests. If you'd like to partake, please don't be shy. Next item on the agenda is our land acknowledgement statement. It is respectful to recognize the unique and enduring relationship that exists between indigenous people and their traditional territories. We acknowledge that we are on the historic homeland of the Red Little people within the original territory of Taos Pueblo. This acknowledgement will oblige as a reminder of our ongoing efforts to respectfully recognize, honor, reconcile, and partner with the Red Little people whose land and water we benefit from in this great valley today. Item E is approval of the meeting agenda. I do have two proposed items to table from the agenda. I would like to make a motion to table item F4, our special education update. Ms. Brasher is currently at the budget conference and she was willing to join us remotely, but I requested that this be tabled for our next meeting. And also, it's been the recommendation of the superintendent at this time to also table item M from executive session. So in my motion, I would like to table item F4 and item M1.
Second.
We have a second from Vice President Cynthia. Can I please get a roll call?
Member Concha?
Yes.
Member King?
Yes.
Secretary Trujillo? Vice President Sprague?
Yes.
President Flores?
Yes. Okay, moving along, item F is presentations. F1 is our student presentation from Taos High School, Mrs. Catalina Quintana. Hi, Catalina.
So first of all, I wanted to start with winter sports. It's been a while since I presented. So I'll start with the basketball teams. They both finished their season about last month. The girls finished 4th in districts and the boys finished 2nd. They also went to state and played in Artesia, but they did finish there. The wrestling team also went to state and we had two of the wrestlers place. Sophomore Manuel Maez placed 6th in his weight class and senior Jerome Martinez placed 5th. The hockey season ended with a tournament hosted in Taos last weekend. Teams from New Mexico, Texas, and Colorado all participated. The swim team also went to state and they placed 10th and 11th for relays. Baseball and softball have both also begun their seasons. They've started by playing, the baseball team went to Bloomfield yesterday and the softball team went to Santa Fe and played Capital. Unfortunately, they both lost. Track has also started, they participated in a couple of meets so far. From what I've heard, they did place as a team, I wanna say 4th, but I'm not sure. The travel club went to Japan for spring break, and from what I've heard, it was a lot of fun and huge kid success. There's a lot of kids that went. Educators Rising went to the state competition, and one of the members, Junior Brianna Taylor, qualified for nationals, and she'll be going to Washington DC this summer to present her interactive bulletin board in June. Also, 2 others went to state with their interactive bulletin boards, but they didn't qualify. The Taos High Pro Start team went to state, and they got 1st in culinary and 3rd in management, which qualified them for nationals, so they will be heading to Baltimore in April. So they will be hosting fundraisers in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. We are entering the last few months of the school year, so many seniors are planning for graduation and everyone is looking forward to the summer. Now that spring break is over, many AP students have started to prepare for the tests that are quickly approaching in May. As we get closer to the end of the year, Gear Up and the Student Council have started planning the end of year festivities. Senior activities such as the college signing day and the elementary walkthrough have already begun the planning stages. Because these activities will cost money, they have tasked seniors to raise $100 to contribute. So if you see a senior with a calendar, we ask that you support the class of 2024. Prom is also coming up, so pretty soon we'll be hearing more about our Night in Paris themed dance. Any questions?
Thank you, Catalina, for your presentation and for joining us tonight. Does the board have any questions or comments for our student representative?
I'd like to say that I'm really happy so many people are going to nationals. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really
great.
exciting.
Very exciting. Thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, real quick, I just definitely would like to commend all our athletic teams, coaches, and the parents for their outstanding achievements this winter season. Very exciting to hear the travel club going to Japan, how exciting, huh? And Educators Rising, you mentioned, what one individual is going to be going to nationals?
Her name is Brianna Taylor. She's a junior.
Oh, how exciting. And then the Pro Start, they placed, could you repeat that? They placed first?
1st in culinary and 3rd in management.
Well, congratulations to them also. Please congratulate all your fellow students on behalf of the board.
I will.
Great presentation. Thank you for the information. Thank you, Catalina.
Thank you.
Okay, item F2, Gear Up New Mexico 3-day college visit to Colorado, Mrs. Nikki McCarty. Hi, Nikki, can you hear us? We can't hear you, Ms. McCarty. Says we have no signal.
You want me to kind of talk through some? If you guys want to kind of move on.
No, we have.
Can wait a couple of minutes.
Go ahead, click carrot. And switch it to your speakers. Not yet. Is your speaker all the way up?
First day of spring.
I was lost.
Claudia, do we have the authorization to present?
Oh.
But she can't get on. I've been polite.
You're right.
I wish you had.
Oh, it says now.
You say, oh God, you know, they call it.
They said they would probably work with that, but. Yeah, well, you can have associated. I just, cause I actually, we were the. They asked, they said if not. Well, if you go. It's called root guard, so what they do is on the wrong side of it, they put a barrier that goes down. Additional. Mr. Trujillo, would you like to go in and present on behalf of the high school and gear up in this McCarty?
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Keep rolling here.
Yes, if you want to chirp on it, if you want it.
I'm just trying to get you guys a little bit more information, but I'll go ahead and again, just right over here is fine. President Flores, Superintendent Mondragon, members of the board, community, thank you for allowing us to come up for House High School this afternoon. Wasn't really expecting this, so I'm not sure. I don't have a PowerPoint, so that's not gonna keep you here for an hour, so. I'll try to chime in for Ms. McCarty, see if she can log in. But basically, I'll do a quick little presentation, kind of give you just a general sense due to me being part of the Hero program a year and a half ago. And so basically, part of the responsibilities of Hero and the grant are to do college visits and send our students on college visits and for career and vocational trips and so forth, in addition to all the other things that you guys know we do as far as financial support for parents, college career siting and so forth. But some of the things that we offer are a lot of college visits, and I think the Hero program this year has already attended, at least, I think at a minimum 3 college visits already. And part of the playbook is that they are required to have a minimum requirement to, I think it's 2 a semester, in addition to state-sponsored Hero trips. The state sponsors themselves, we get them to a site, for example, Santa Fe or Espanola or Albuquerque, and then we put our students on a bus and they go ahead and do a site visits to different colleges around the state. They're overnight trips and so forth. So I know Miss Nikki McCarty is here helping us with our Hero program the last year and a half or so. So she was going to probably come up here today. She was going to come up here today to ask for permission and a request for out-of-state travel. Because I do know when I ran that program, we did have a Colorado, Southern Colorado trip that went out into those areas. I can't remember the college in my head. It's probably going to be out of state, possibly Durango, and
I'm here. Can you hear me?
there you go.
Mr. Trujillo, thank you so much.
It's on the spot.
Impromptu on the spot, ready to go.
Way to pitch hit for me, Mr. Trujillo.
Trujillo, thank you so much. Ms. McCarty, thank you for being able to join us. I know you're having some difficulties there. Don't feel bad about that. You know, technology could be tough sometimes, and we're real happy to have you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I was fine, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, and I couldn't get anything to work. Everything was froze. But yeah, so the reason I'm not there in person is we're holding a scholarship workshop event right here in the library tonight for our seniors. So if you have any seniors at home and they need help filling out scholarships, doing their essays, making resumes, send them to the library. We're here till 7. But yeah, as Mr. Trujillo was saying, I want to ask for permission for 9 of our students to attend a 3-day college visit. They start out, we take them to Espanola to meet the Gear Up New Mexico bus, and then they'll be headed to Adams State in Alamosa, then to Fort Lewis in Durango. And while they're on that college visit, they do a little field trip to the Southern Ute Cultural Center, which is in Ignacio, Colorado. Then they finish up at San Juan College in Farmington. And so this is a big, this is with Gear Up New Mexico. And as far as our college visits at the school, we have actually done 6 college trips, visiting Adams State. We visited New Mexico Tech in Socorro, Highlands, Luna Vocational, UNM main campus, CNM. So we're trying to give the kids a whole variety of all the New Mexico colleges, as well as the Colorado colleges that offer our students really good scholarships or in-state tuition. So do you have any questions?
Does the board have any questions for Mrs. McCarty? I just have a quick question. What does the college visits kind of consist of? For say like Adams State, what are the students, what's their itinerary like?
So we meet with usually they're students that greet us. They work for the admissions office, and they will give us a little introduction about the college. Then they take us on a tour of the college. Then we might meet with depending on the size of the university, the smaller universities, that we meet with a lot more of the agencies, financial aid, student services, and then the different departments will talk to the students. And at Highlands, we actually had some students enrolled that day there, and then they got a t-shirt for enrolling. They got their fee waived. At New Mexico Tech, we ate lunch in their cafeteria, so the kids get that whole experience of eating in the cafeteria at the college. And at the UNM at UNM in Albuquerque at the main branch, we fed the students in the student union building, which is very different from the way student union buildings were when I went to school. And so in the UNM one, it's, gosh, you've got your choice between a ton of things. So we kind of try to give them that feel of what it's like on a college campus, and they get to see the dorm rooms, that, you know, they hear the requirements for freshmen. They talk about all the activities that happen at the colleges and universities. So it's usually a lot of fun. Kids get a lot out of it.
How exciting, how exciting. So this is an item for approval for the students and Ms. McCarty to get out of state. Just one question, Ms. McCarty, chaperones, will you be going alone, or will there be other adults accompanying the kids?
So what happens is either John Hedden, the data coordinator for the grant, or myself, we take them to the Gear Up charter bus, and then they get on that bus, and then they're supervised by the New Mexico Gear Up staff, which are employees of the higher education department. And then they also bring in a group of, they're called Focus, and they go with them on all these college trips. So they're actually supervised by Gear Up staff and not by us on these 3-day visits. On the ones that we do, yes, then it's always myself and Mr. Hedden that goes on those trips.
Thank you, Ms. McCarty.
Oh, and I might want to add, tomorrow we're leaving for Buffalo Thunder. We're taking our Native American students and their families. We have 9 students and think like 4 or 5 families that are attending this conference at Buffalo Thunder, and it's specifically geared toward our Native American students. And there's a college fair there, and then they give them all kinds of breakout sessions, some entertainment, and it's all free. Everything associated with the GARP grant is free: food, transportation, lodging. And so we'll spend the night at Buffalo Thunder and return back home Friday about 6 o'clock.
Again, sounds very exciting. Thank you, Ms. McCarty, for all your work that you do with our seniors and getting them prepared for college. That could be a very, that's a big endeavor, and I'm sure it could be intimidating for young students. So thank you for that. Would the board like to, would my fellow board members like to make a motion for approval for this item?
I'll make a motion for approval.
Do we have a second? We have a motion from Board Member King for approval and a second from Vice President Cynthia. Will you please get a roll call?
Member Concha,
Yes.
Member King,
Yes.
Secretary Trujillo,
Yes.
Vice President Spray,
Yes.
President Flores.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. McCarty, and
Thank you.
hope the students have fun, and thank you, Mr. Trio, for stepping in.
Thank you so much.
Item F3 is a presentation on attendance concerns, proposal. Mrs. Felicia, and I don't want to say the last name,
I think the J is on.
Felicia Jerkovich. Thank you so much, appreciate that.
Is it okay if I'm gonna go there or stay here?
Why don't you come over here?
I didn't prepare anything amongst parent teacher conferences today, or tried to, and then I was like, oh, no, not enough time. So, good evening, my name is Felicia Jerkovich. I am a first grade long-term sub for Ranchos Elementary School. So I wanted to address, dear board members, I'm just gonna read it from my proposal that I had turned in. As per Taos municipal school policy, attendance equals good academic success. I agree wholeheartedly with this. I make every attempt to send my child to school. However, it is not her fault, her doing, her intent to arrive late. She is a child of circumstance. Also, punishment of lowering her grade, in-school suspension or lunch detention, and counting her absent after 3 tardies are all punitive damages that my child did not incur because of her willful bad conduct. In fact, my child is attending school, but school is erroneously recording 3 tardies as her being absent. This information is recorded, and the data is submitted as official record to the state about my child. Her success of being absent makes your policy untrue. My child is a good student. She does well in her first period class as well as all her other classes. She enters quietly and does not disrupt her peers nor her instructor. She is not getting behind in her first period class and does not require the teacher to stop nor help her to catch up. Understand that parents get students to school. Paying the fine is not acceptable. Many can't afford it, so I propose that the Taos Municipal School District help parents such as myself who travel. I travel 60 miles, and that's an hour and 30 minutes to get to school in the morning, and then I do that at night as well, to get to work and bring our kids to this school. It is my hope that some collaboration be put into place that may be a better solution to practice of 3 tardies equals 1 absence. Such as, what should parents do? A, volunteer to help at school event if possible. B, help first period teacher out in some way, aid for a day. C, support the school district in fundraising endeavors. And I just wrote this one in. D, create an attendance policy that is fluid throughout the entire district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does the board have any questions or concerns?
No, but thank you for your presentation.
And you said you're a teacher
Yes,
in Ranchos,
Ranchos.
and your daughter goes to school?
at the middle school,
Okay. So, what grade is she?
6,
6. And you drive from where?
advocate,
Okay. That's every day.
every day.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Moving right along, item G is public comments. Do we have anybody in the public that would like to speak in regards to public comment? All right, that's fine. If you could just state your name and
My name is Stephen Hall. The 4th century cleric Augustine is reputed to have said, quote, "Charity is no substitute for justice withheld," end quote. Going on 13 years, December 2011, the school board held a meeting in which 2 high school students were introduced as mentors, helping a middle school student, as well as helping with schoolwork. They also spoke of helping the student and the student's family find food on those occasions when food was short. A few months later, February 2012, at a forum for town council candidates, Fred Peralta spoke of children going to school hungry. Afterwards, I asked Mr. Peralta if students really were going to school hungry, and he replied, quote, "Yes." Recently, there was a school board presentation explaining the designation community schools and their purpose. Along with helping students with schoolwork, community schools often provide students in need with food, clothes, laundry facilities, place to clean up, personal items, school supplies, along with probably any number of other necessities. It seems not much has changed in the past dozen or so years. This community has seemingly simply gotten more efficient and more focused in providing charity for students and families in need. The justice that has been withheld from students and families in need are equitable tax policies and fair wages for work that ensure a life of dignity for all. While you work to see that the community school quote-unquote closet supplies is there when needs arise, would it not be a good idea to also work on ensuring that local jobs pay wages that support a life of dignity, and that the burden of taxation doesn't fall disproportionately on the poor and those that owe wealth, falls rather on those of obscene and unjustifiable wealth. A life of dignity is one in which students and families don't have to depend on the charity of the community school's closet, but one in which the labor of all families is rewarded with a sufficiency that ensures dignity. The purpose of education. This is written by Martin Luther King Jr. when he was at Morehouse College in 1948. I think he was 19 at the time. I'm quoting now. As I engage in the so-called bull sessions around and about the school, I too often find that most college men have a misconception of the purpose of education. Most of the brethren think that education should equip them with the proper instruments of exploitation so that they can forever trample over the masses. Still others think that education should furnish them with noble ends rather than means to an end. It seems to me that education has a twofold function to perform in the life of man and in society. The one is utility and the other is culture. Education must enable a man to become more efficient, to achieve with increasing facility the legitimate goals of his life. Education must also train one for quick, resolute, and effective thinking. To think incisively, to think for oneself is very difficult. We are prone to let our mental life become invaded by legions of half-truths, prejudices, and propaganda. At this point, I often wonder whether or not education is fulfilling its purpose. The great majority of the so-called educated people do not think logically and scientifically. Even the press, the classroom, the platform, and the pulpit, in many instances, do not give us objective and unbiased truth. To save man from the morass of propaganda, in my opinion, is one of the chief aims of education. Education must enable one to sift and weigh evidence, to discern the true from the false, the real from the unreal, and the facts from the fiction. The function of education, therefore, is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. But education that stops with efficiency may prove the greatest menace to society. The most dangerous criminal may be the man gifted with reason, but with no morals. The late Eugene Talmadge, who was a senator from Georgia, a white man, in my opinion, possessed one of the better minds of Georgia, or even America. Moreover, he wore the Phi Beta Kappa key. By all measuring rods, Mr. Talmadge can think critically and intensively, yet he contends that I am an inferior being. Are those the types of men we call educated? We must remember that intelligence is not enough. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. The complete education gives one not only power of concentration, but worthy objectives on which to concentrate. The law education will therefore transmit to one not only the accumulated knowledge of the race, but also the accumulated experience of social living. If we are not careful, our colleges will produce a group of closed-minded, unscientific, illogical propagandists consumed with immoral acts. Be careful, brethren. Be careful, teachers.
Thank you, Mr. Hall, for your comments and your attendance at our meetings. The next item on the agenda is item H, district updates. H1 is our superintendent report. This is Renetta on the board.
President Flores, members of the board, members of the public, I'd like to again congratulate our Taos Culinary Arts for their first place in culinary and their place in management. Mr. Medina had also asked the community to look out for some of their fundraising for the ProStart travel. So if you can keep that in mind when they're out there hitting up the community for fundraising, if you could help support them, that would be fantastic. Also, our Educators Rising, just again, a congratulations to them and Brianna Taylor, Ms. Carmela Gonzalez for taking them there and supporting this initiative within the school district, which is helping grow teachers within our community. That's what we want to see, is have students come back to our schools and help with the teacher shortages that we're facing as a state and as a nation. On March 5th through the 7th, Taos Municipal Schools celebrated Read Across America at all 3 elementary school sites. I want to thank Ms. Debbie Brunchal for putting that huge event together. It was quite a task in finding readers, but thank you to our community members, our board members that were able to read, and our administrators and staff who were able to help support her with that and fill gaps and make sure every classroom had students being read to. She is also planning for our kindergarten night to recruit students to our schools. So she'll be working with our charter schools, our preschools, so that they can, our kindergarten charter schools and our district schools can read them to the preschools to let parents know what their options are within the community, and we'll have more information later on. I wanted to draw your attention to your site administrator reports. We did change them up a bit. There's different types that are there. We would like you to take a look at them and provide us with some feedback. What we're looking at is how we're utilizing the strategic plan and the school sites, informing the school board on how we're meeting those action steps and the goals within the strategic plan. So we would appreciate your feedback on that, and we'll meet again as the leadership team and take those ideas and consolidate it into one report for the school board. We did remove reporting on discipline and student enrollment from the board reports. There were some concerns about student identification because of masking issues that we have to follow as a school district. We're looking into how we can still report those to the school board so that you have that information, but probably doing it as an entire district and not as an individual school site. So I'll be putting those probably into the superintendent report. I think that'll make it easier so that we're ensuring that we're following FERPA rules and masking rules for our students. The district, I did provide you with an update from the LFC. If you look at it, it's this document in here. It's your 2024 quick guide to New Mexico education laws and budget. I did highlight for the school board the new legislation that came through and what the implications are for the district, and what PED will need to do for us. I think, last night we did receive some information from the New Mexico School Board Association, but this one provides a little bit more information and kind of how it's going to affect the school district. So that's there for your information. with that, I stand for questions.
Thank you, President Toya. Thank you, Minetta. I had a question about, did someone bring up an issue relating to the school data that you were getting?
No, it's just me reviewing what we do have in place and ensuring that we're following our district policies.
It seems to me, I mean, New Mexico Vista gives us the data and
Correct,
they
and they
probably
do,
wouldn't do it. I mean, it seems, is that not following the masking?
it does,
Okay.
and so we're just making sure when we're reporting on our administrative reports that we're following that process as well.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Board Member King?
I appreciate your report, Superintendent Mondragon. Just for the kids who are going abroad and, you know, out of state, I should say, remember our generous Taos Community Foundation, Rotary Club, Lions Club?
Okay.
These guys are willing to help, I'm sure, with the house.
Well, I don't want to be premature, but we have met with Taos Community Foundation. I met with them yesterday, and we're planning some events for the school district.
Great, nice to hear.
Any further questions or comments regarding our superintendent's report? Okay, the next item on the agenda is item H2 from our district update. It is the administrative reports. The administrative reports that are presented in your guys, your board members' packets for review. Does the board have any questions or comments regarding our administrative reports? Anything they would like to highlight?
I'm sorry, my folder wouldn't open from place that I was looking at it, so I can't get to look at it, but I will as soon as I can get the folder open. But thank you. I know you made an effort for all of us to work every time.
I do have, I did see quite a few things in there that I'm very proud of our district is accomplishing. I want to just acknowledge that Superintendent Mondragon has asked our administrators in their reports to try to relate to the strategic plan when presenting your report. I believe that it is up to the administrator on how you present your information. I'm not sure how it is being asked of you, but I do appreciate all the administrative reports. I like how our community schools report covered every school site and had a little bit of information about that school site. I know that there's a lot going on at all our schools, and it's nice to see how you covered a little bit of those highlights. Mr. Trujillo, I wanted to ask you a question. I'm not sure if you could speak on it or not, but I wanted to ask about the high school restorative justice program that was in your report there. Is that something that's newly being implemented, or has it been implemented in the past? Or what kind of brought that about?
So I'll, it's in its infancy, and I'm not gonna try to talk laterally about it because it's kind of new to us as well. I believe Miss Carla Martinez, Mr. Marcos Herrera, and I think they're the two main individuals behind grant writing and the support for that. I think Ms. Mondragon, you can also chime in whenever you want. And then I know Mr. P. Martinez, our head of security at Taos High School, all together have worked together to establish this and bring about this program, restorative justice to Taos High School. Again, still in its infancy. I can give you a little bit more on that later. I can touch base with Ms. Carla Martinez. We did meet, I'll give you a little tiny example of some of the things that can, some of the things that we're able to do. We're currently working on, well, they're actually doing a lot of the work. They met with me to kind of get my approval on an after-school program with students who are at risk, mostly dealing with attendance issues, grading issues and so forth, giving them a positive outlet. And Sophie is gonna be working with some of those students after school in our weight facility. and working on just self-help, benefits and so forth, not going crazy, just, exercising and just doing things that can, help our students, with the reliefs of, stress and things like that, and then communicating with the students, establishing relationships with an at-risk population. It's open to everybody, but, we're really trying to focus on students that might need a little bit of support from us, and then lead into other things that we can do for them.
President Flores, members of the board, if I can add to that as well. It's right now they're going to focus on students who haven't been able to participate in extracurricular activities. So, if they haven't been able to participate in sports due to grades or whatever else, this is an opportunity for them to participate in an after-school program at the high school.
Yeah, I saw the information about it. I'd like to hear more about it as it unfolds. I think it's something that could definitely be beneficial to those students. Giving them an outlet, like you said, giving them a way to maybe have somebody who cares, like Mr. Martinez. I know Mr. Martinez, he really enjoys his job as a security officer there. I think he's established himself as somebody who cares about students, but will also hold them accountable. Definitely, I've just seen that on your report. There's something kind of new that caught my eye. And then also, I see that at our next board meeting or a possible future meeting, there's going to be some discussion on our on the CTE program, or what is it, career technical education? Something that I'd be interested on hearing more information about. Thank you, Mr. Trujillo. Sure, appreciate that very much. I do want to acknowledge that I did read in one of our administrator reports how their principal is making time to meet with staff as needed. I just want to encourage our principals to continue to have discussions with teachers on an individual basis. I believe that one-on-one mentorship is very important to our teachers, letting them know that they have your support, and that you're all ears. I read this saying at one point in time that we have 2 ears, so we could hear more than we speak. We only have one mouth, so it's good to listen to our fellow teachers. So I wanted to just acknowledge that and encourage you guys to continue with your good work. Thank you for your board reports. I really appreciate all the information in there. There was a wealth of information on these ones, and we look forward to reading them. And I want to encourage the board to take time to read the administrator's reports, because there is a lot of time and effort that goes into these reports. So with that being said, we'll move right along to the finance office. Do we have Ms. Tanya Maestas joining us?
How's that? She's on the phone.
That's what
Mrs. Maestas, whenever you're ready, we are ready to hear you out.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can, Ms. Maestas.
Good evening, President Flores, members of the board. Mr. Netta, we have just the normal, just the financial statements. I hope you all had a chance to review them. And then we have a ton of bars. Let me go into the screen real quick. I had to walk outside because the internet is horrible in here. All right, so we're going to start off with bar number 1, which is the Title I bar. This is an increase to the budget of $66,873. Then we have the ESSER transfer bar, which is going to pay for the 2 new Suburbans that we ordered out of 24330, which is a transfer of $137,400. And then we have the title, let's see here, 24189, which is another increase of $7,815. Then we have the same one. This is a transfer bar to fix the encumbrances that we have in the amount of $25,039. Then we also have, let's see, another, this is the maintenance bar, just moving from one line item to the other for them to be able to purchase the items that they need in the amount of $1,006. We have an increased bar for the rural and low income out of 24160 for an increase of $39,647. We also have, this one's a maintenance bar out of 24183, a USDA equipment grant for $4,221. We have a new increased bar in the 21,000 for $442,240. This is our food service. We received some more money on an increased bar on the 24118 for fresh fruits and vegetable for $1,537. We have another increased bar for Title II at $122,258. We have a brand new grant that we received from the high school that Emmy had applied for the students to build a new kind of behavior relaxation room kind of thing, and that's $115,000. We also have the universal free lunch, which is a maintenance bar, just moving money around for $38,100. Family income index is 3,684, which is also a maintenance bar. And the last one is an increased bar. It's a new one for 28190, I'm sorry, for grads instructions of 50,000. So we've been busy moving monies around. I know that was a mouthful and a lot to absorb.
Thank you, Ms. Maestas. Secretary Trujillo, and we have some questions. Secretary Trujillo.
Is that, that USDA food service, is that the grant that, Ms. Dr. LaBella was talking about? Is that the grant?
That is we increased the bar on that one. It is a grant that she applied for.
So you're increasing the budget and accounting, so you can account for the grant?
Yes.
I think I can answer your question, Secretary. Yes, I believe that was what she spoke about in regards to the food service equipment and all the stuff she was gonna buy. I did sign off on that document and reviewed it, and I believe that through reviewing it, they'll be purchasing a lot of new kitchen equipment for the cafeteria.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the connection. It's interesting. The new grants, they go in the budget as bars versus resolutions. Is that the way the financials are
are recorded?
Yes, I mean, we have the resolution that you all approved at the beginning of June, it was June, end of June, I think the June 17th meeting of last year, to allow us to be able to do the bars, and then once we do them, then we send them to you guys to review them and approve them. And then as we receive monies,
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
you're welcome.
Board Member King?
I appreciate it. Ms. Mysis, what's the last item in regards to the graduation instruction? Is that grad? I'm grad, I may be assuming graduation, the grad.
It's
instruction.
grads. That is,
Grads.
yes, that is a fund that Camille Rivera at the high school has, and it's called grads. We'd have to clarify exactly what the acronym is, you know, downgraded to, but Camille Rivera applies for this grant every year. And so it's a part of her, the daycare that she handles at the high school.
President Flores, members of the board, Board Member King, if I may, it helps support our teenage mothers. So this is the daycare services, and she applies for additional funds to help support it. I believe that this specific one is also going to help support the summer program for daycare for children as well.
How many kids do we have right now?
I believe I want to say they have about 15.
And their mothers are going to school?
Mothers are going to school.
I believe it is acronym grads in regards to giving the mothers the ability to have daycare so they could continue on to graduation. I believe that's what it's shorter.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Grads. I have a question for our superintendent and our finance director in regards to the universal free lunch, that $38,100 that is a maintenance bar. We did hear last night at our Region 2 meeting that the state legislature approved funding to be able to provide free lunch to all students within the state of New Mexico, no matter what the income level is. Does that maintenance bar, is that in relation to that?
It probably is. I'm not too sure what exactly you heard.
President Flores, members of the board, right now, the school district does provide free lunches to all students within the district. We had applied for a grant, I want to say it was the previous year, and we were able to award that to the school district. I would need to check with Director Dr. Labella to see what exactly her maintenance bar was for.
That's fine, I would just, yeah, if you could get back with me on that. I would just, being that, so the state, being that they are funding free meals throughout the district, is that something that we get up front, or do we get reimbursed? How does that avenue of funding happen? Ms. Maestas, would you
Can
be
you
able
hear
to
me?
speak on? Yes.
Yes, this one that we're doing right now is a maintenance bar. So this one is money we already had. So we're just moving around to allow May to be able to expend it before June 30th. As far as how we get them, May applied for this one, I believe, early on in the year. And she got this one along with the fresh fruits and vegetables one. And I know sometimes they grant additional monies. When they grant the money, there's usually sometimes leftover money. So part of that 1537, it was money that was left over as well from the original 50,000.
Okay,
That's your question.
yeah, no, so my question, if I could just clarify it, it's been said that the state is gonna pay for all school meals for all of our students. My question was, how does the district kind of recoup those funds? Do we seek reimbursement from the state for being able to pay for all of our students' meals, or do we get funding up front for
No.
the?
We have to
Or-
request the RFRs. We have to request for reimbursement after the money is expended. Each month we do RFRs to get the money back from PED to get reimbursed.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, President Flores. Hi, Tanya, thank you for your report. I just was wondering if you could speak a little bit more to the behavioral health support, 115,000 for a relaxation room, where the money came from and where the room's gonna be.
This is a grant that Emmy Sue Martinez at the high school had applied for. From what I understand, and we were told that it's gonna go right across the principal's office in a room directly across so they can have more like supervision on it. But it's supposed to be a room where they can get sort of like a relaxation, mental, like behavioral health. I'm not too sure what all is going in there. We looked at the grant and it has like couches and stuff like that where kids can go. I believe that Ms. Renetta can speak on it a little bit more as to how they're gonna implement it.
Thank you.
President Flores, Vice President Spring, members of the board, the room, so the grant is going to pay partially for the stocking of the room to help buy the equipment for it. It will be across from the high school or the high school office. The other part of the grant is going for professional development and stipends for teachers to help run that room because it does need to still be supervised. So staff members will receive additional compensation for it.
Great, thank you both. Thank you, President Flores.
Thank you, Ms. Maestas, for presenting on those bars. These bars, we do need approval to move forward.
Thank you, everybody.
I will go ahead and ask for a recommendation from Superintendent Mondragon in regards to approval of the bars presented.
President Flores, members of the board, I recommend approval of all, I'm gonna read off all the bars. Of our, let's see, 24101, 24330, 24189, 24189, 24189, well, one's a transfer bar, the other is a maintenance bar, 4160 initial, 24183 maintenance, 21000 initial, 24118 initial, 24154 initial, 27583, 2110 maintenance, 27407 maintenance, and 28190 initial.
Thank you. I will make a motion for approval of the bars presented on the board agenda and as presented by Mrs. Maestas.
Second.
We have a second from Vice President Sylvia. Will you please get a roll call?
Member Concha,
Yes.
member King,
Yes.
Secretary Trujillo,
Yes.
Vice President Sprague,
Yes.
President Flores.
Yes. If I could just make a comment, Superintendent True, when we are presenting the agenda and we have, I guess moving forward, I would like to recommend if we could have the bars identified as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and L, that would, I think, allow us to reference them a little bit more clearly without, because there's, as we're aware, sitting here looking at the agenda, all the numbers that encumber it and the names, so just, I think just a suggestion that would help us. And I appreciate everything that goes into making the agenda. It just kind of dawned on me, now that we were reading those out, that in regards to the motion for approval, we could say, someone could do bars A through L, or L through K, in the future.
Thank you, President Flores.
Thank you guys, I appreciate everything you guys do. So with that, we're gonna move on to J, old business. This item was left on here for discussion. I do have an update from our consulting firm that I wanted to read to the board. you could just allow me to pull it up on my email here. But for the record and for those in attendance, item J of old business, J1 is a discussion, possible action regarding any outstanding items to be addressed related to marketing, recruiting, or opening of the application portal. And J2 is discussion and possible action regarding superintendent search next steps, including possible adjustments to search plan. Does the board have any questions or comments or concerns regarding the superintendent search plan? Or any amendments? So I reached out to Dr. Leba to get an update earlier this week, just to see how things are going. As we're all aware, at our last meeting, we approved the leadership profile, and it was to go forward for posting the next day. And Mr. Leba, and I'm gonna read it word for the record. Mr. Leba presented me with an update, and it says, President Flores, per your request, here's a brief update on the Taos Municipal School Superintendent search. He goes on to say, we currently have 8 applicants. Most applications are usually submitted during the last week. Our first weeks of recruiting were spent making local, state, and national direct recruitment calls to potential candidates who meet the profile and have experience in districts similar to TMS. We have the job posted on our JG website, LinkedIn, Twitter, superintendentsearch.net, which are national. Below are the additional sites. Jacob Wilson, JG Administrative Chief, is contacting to get the job posted on. Not all are confirmed. So I believe they're attempting or have put it on or are going to put it on the following websites: New Mexico Coalition of Educational Leaders, New Mexico Association for Bilingual Education, New Mexico Association of School Business Officials, New Mexico Association of School Superintendents. They have also emailed the post to the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the Bureau of Indian Education. And they also are working to get it posted on the Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents. Jose Leba, Dr. Leba. So I just wanted to update the board and the community with that. If the board doesn't have any questions or comments, we will go ahead and move forward with the agenda. Item J3 is the CES Gordian Taos High School Wrestling Facility Phase 1 Design Winters Construction quote in the amount of $211,866.07. We've got our project manager, Mr. Frederick Cisneros, here to inform us of this item.
Here's the quote, the formal quote that they provided. This is probably gonna be a couple of ongoing things that are gonna happen through this phase of this building, since we're going through CES. We're breaking it down into phases. Phase 1 will be the design portion of it, and then we're not sure yet what other phases are gonna be incorporated in it. You know, there'll probably be either the build phase and then the site build phase or something like that. We're still kind of working that out through Gordian and CES on how we break those down. But this is the first portion of it, and this is to get the architects starting on their design.
Thank you, Mr. Cisneros. Just for the fellow board members and for the audience and the record, so we are in the process of designing a Taos High School wrestling facility that we do hope to have the ability to lend itself to our cheerleading and dance programs and other athletic teams as needed. I guess it does say here that the detailed scope is design phase for Taos Auxiliary Gym Wrestling Facility, The contractor design team will conduct meetings with district personnel to get input for design of facility. And architect will produce construction plans and documents to price out building proposal. At our last meeting, we did approve moving forward with this. I believe this is just the quote for the board's information, and this is not an action item. I do not believe that we need to vote to approve this.
No, President Flores, previously, back in November, we had already approved a purchase order for, Winters Construction, so this is just a piece of this that we're bringing before the board so that you have eyes on what we're doing as a district. We do have a question for the board that we would like clarification.
So as we move forward with this process, I mean, we have a committee that we get together on a regular basis. We haven't had any meetings in a while because we're kind of still in a first phase of it. So as a committee and as me as the project manager, I guess I would like to know how much detail or in detail the board wants to be on this project. I mean, I'm willing to give you guys quarterly reports, monthly reports, however you guys see fit for this project. You'll probably be seeing me a little bit more often. You know, we have through the district a lot of projects starting to happen, and we'll probably be bringing a lot of those to the board for approval as well. But as far as this project, you know, like I said, there'll be probably a few phases in it, and you know, as me as the project manager and the committee, part of the committee, we were just trying to would like to know how the board would like to get notified of it. You know, like I said, I'm happy to bring you guys, you know, weekly reports, monthly reports, bi-weekly reports, however you guys feel fit that you would like to be involved in that.
And President Flores, if I may add, one of our questions also is when it comes to quotes, because we do have an open purchase order to Winters Construction. Would you like to see the quotes that we get moving forward, or be informed of them after, you know, with Mr. Cisneros' monthly reports? One of our concerns was delays if we wait for board meetings. However, we defer to you for direction on that.
If I could speak on behalf of the board, but I do welcome my fellow board members to please give their opinion. I think it's very important that the board the board is provided with the information regarding the quotes, but I don't feel that it's exactly necessary in order for us to approve moving forward, being that we've already approved this project, we've already approved the budget, we've already approved the contractor. I do feel that it's very important that if we can be provided the quote prior to, if possible, which I think is very important, just for practical reasons, for board oversight, in case there's any questions that any individual board member may have. I think if at all possible, we could get the quotes prior to moving forward, but there's some instances where if doing that may hold up the project. I don't believe that would be necessary, but I think we need to be informed. Also, I think in regards to the updates, Mr. Cisneros, I think as things develop, it's important, and I would like to recommend that you guys do bring those developments forward if things are kind of still moving forward. And I mean, I think it'd be real easy to say, if you're up here doing you happen to be at a board meeting and there's nothing that's developed, you know, there's no need for that. But if something has changed, or we're moving into phase 2, or we've broken ground, as our project manager, I have full confidence in you. And I think that I will leave it to you to keep the board informed as you see fit, but please know that we would like to know as things progress.
Soon as we get we're having, soon as we get this into, you know, forward, we're gonna have the architects will be coming in, and we'll do a kickoff meeting with the committee to start moving forward on getting design built. As a district, I think once we have the approved design and a getting started, I'd like for us to maybe do a groundbreaking ceremony, maybe have the board present, have, some of the teachers there, maybe, our committee, maybe do a little groundbreaking or something at the site itself and, kind of have the Taos News or something there to recognize.
Yes, thank you, President Flores. I don't know if all the board members know, but I think you guys do, that I sit on that committee, and, one of the reasons I do sit on it is when things come up, like you and I work pretty well together, Fred, if there's a quote situation coming up and you need to immediately, you have a question in your head, like maybe this is too much to approve without the board,
Right.
you're welcome, I like it if you bring the information to me, and then I could talk to President Flores also, so that we could just keep the basic idea is to keep the communication flow very open and transparent on it. So, and I sit on that board for a reason, and that's one of the things that I'm happy to do. If that fits for the board.
Well, I think that's important, but I think in this process, being that we're expending public funds, it's just important for a public update if there is one.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I mean, with board member Cynthia sitting on the board and being in, direct contact with you guys, she's very communicative with me and with all of our board members.
I'm happy to also bring up a little update whenever.
Yeah, I think it's important.
And what I'm doing now is throughout all our projects, this project, I'm taking pictures of every phase that we're going through and everything we do, and I'll start maybe drawing up or doing a little PowerPoint or something with photos, so you guys can personally see them without having to be on the job site. Some people like to see that, they see the, pictures of stuff going on and happening, they get a better sense of how the project is coming along.
President Flores, we should also send a thank you and a PowerPoint to the governor. She probably would really appreciate a thank you, seeing what's going on.
And does the board have any comments or questions? Board member King?
In regard to that bid, Mr. Cisneros, if we could get copies of it, if that's possible, so we can see, I don't know, I see you have a number there right there, is that?
But it's just the quote that CES provides, since we're going through CES and Gordian, they generate a quote on the first portion of the design.
And is there, how many phases of the draw, have you guys, is that something that's already worked out, and you guys are just?
We haven't worked out an actual, I think last time I was here, I had given you guys a kind of a spreadsheet, an Excel spreadsheet that the architect had kind of done up. So that's kind of the way the phases are gonna be, kind of
Summary.
yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, on the weekly, monthly, bi-weekly reports, whatever I have, I can, like right now, this quote here is gonna be for like 60% of the design build, that's what they're quoting for. The way it's broken down, so there's 60% for the designer, there's a certain percent for the actual contractor, because he's gonna be involved in the design and doing all that, so he's got a portion in there. And then there's like 16,000 and some change for GRT taxes, so that's where the total 211,066 is coming from.
President Flores and members of the board, you do have this quote in your board packet. It was provided to you.
Yeah, that was, last week pretty long. Yeah, monthly would be great, maybe more, but at least monthly, so we.
Like I said, you'll probably be seeing me a little more often, because we do have a lot of projects starting and getting going through the district, so I'll probably be here quite a bit.
The weather's warming up.
Weather's warming up, everybody's wanting stuff done, and we have a lot of stuff to do for the district.
Vice President.
Yes, thank you, President Flores. I just want to say for the board's edification and for everyone's, both of these companies are so professional, all of them, wouldn't you say, Renata? Like, all of them, Renata's been, just been top notch, top of the line, very clear, answering all the questions. I have a really good feeling in the way that you and Olivia run the meetings. Have been really, really nice. Everyone's doing a really good job.
Thank you.
President Flores, if I may add as well, it was this morning when I was at Spring Budget, it was nice to hear when we were talking about the auxiliary gym and who we had gone with as the construction company. There were several other superintendents and some other, I would say, state representatives who were pleased with the company. They had good results with them, so I was glad to hear that.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Mr. Cisneros, I just have just a couple comments in regards to the groundbreaking ceremony. I think that that's something that should happen. Definitely reach out to the wrestling community, as a school district superintendent, Mondragon, if we could make sure that the wrestling program from the little guys and gals all the way to the high school level are aware for those people that want to be involved. I know that there was at one point in time a while back where the wrestling community was a little bit not too happy with the district moving them out of the facility at the administration building, and now we've worked towards getting this developed. So I think it'd be very important to reach out to the community and board members be present if they can, and any school officials. But definitely we want to invite the governor, if at all possible, because she is the one that signed off on this money. I think it's very important that we invite our senator and representatives, because they do support the schools, and just extending that arm out there, if they can make it or not. But at least we did notify them. Also our lobbyist, Mr. Steven Archuleta. So we probably want to develop a list, because we don't really want to exclude anybody, but we want to make sure that we're opening it up to the community to be present. It's not just for the board members. And then I want to thank you and commend you for mentioning that you're taking photos and documenting the process. I think it'd be really good for the school district, when this is complete, that we have a documentation or documented from beginning to end, and we can show the governor how we are responsibly spending these monies, and how we were diligent in making sure that we documented it and made sure that we did our best to make sure it was done right. And from her signing off on that money, from it coming to us to this facility being built and the kids using it, I mean, something like that would showcase our school district, your work, and it could very well help us in the future get more funding from the governor and from the legislature, because it'll show them that, you know, we take this very seriously, we're appreciative of it, and we're doing our diligence. So I think you're doing a great job, and I appreciate all your work. I see you working all the time. When I happen to pass by the high school or at the softball field, I see you out there. So thank you so much, Fred.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Okay, item K, new business. K1, YDI request for approval of school construction at the Llano Quemado facility. Superintendent, Renata Mondragon.
President Flores, members of the board, thank you. We had a request from our YDI program to work on the roofing at our Llano Quemado facility, and I would like to invite Mr. Floyd Trujillo and Ms. Frances Chavez to come and speak to the board about what the project will entail and what they're asking of the board.
And I made copies, I made one set of copies, and I think it's everything, but it has like, you know, the bid and everything, and just so you know, why do I pay for all this? It's not coming out to school. And per the lease agreement, we have to keep up with the building, you know, when it needs fixtures, we need to, but before we can do anything, we always have to come to the school board for approval on this. But it's for the roof in Llano, and I know the majority of you have had kids, grandkids go to Llano Quemado, so you know it's a pretty old school. But with the upkeep we're doing, you know, it's nice, it's, you know, still living and going, and we just want to continue it, you know. So the roof is, you know, pretty old, you know, it's getting old, and with all our winter months, you know, it does do, you know, we do have damage to it. So that's why we are asking for permission to do it, you know. And I think the cost was 140-some thousand, and YDI got funded through all our COVID grants and everything like that. So they wanted to put it to use in Taos County, you know, to have that building, because that's one of our bigger centers, and it's owned by the school board, but in Taos schools, so they wanted us to fix that one up to keep it going.
Yeah, we've been occupying that building since 1998, when YDI got the grant for it.
But then we had it before with Mesa Vista schools. We had it like in 1970 some, that Head Start's always been housed there.
Yeah,
Yes.
let me go back a little bit. I believe
It might even be a WPA program building, which was built in the thirties, late thirties. I wanna say it was, but I know that it's been in continued use since 1963. It's been, because there was CAP, Mesa Vista, and then YDI. So throughout the years, you know, we've been keeping it up because we have to be in compliance with the state fire marshal's office.
State licensing.
State licensing as well, and New Mexico EID. So we're in compliance with all those agencies, you know, we collaborate with them and everything, so. We've just been maintaining it, you know, it's an old Adobe building, Vigas, well, you good.
You know, so I can speak, so Secretary Schwartz.
Just the fact that YDI is paying for it.
Yes.
And it's not of our maintenance budget,
Yeah.
that's huge for us.
Yeah.
You know, and it has historic value.
It does, it does.
You know, and history for, like you said, all the kids that have gone there and the parents that have taken their kids. I remember my granddaughter, I'd go pick her up and she'd be taking a nap. And, or when they'd be having lunch and they all participate, so it's an incredible, what memories, so I have my memories.
And I mean, we have several other Head Start centers throughout the county that you're aware of. Some of them we share, like Cuesta, we share that building with the senior citizens. So we serve the kitchen, different menus. So imagine, the senior citizens have a different menu one day, the Head Start has a different menu that same day. So we work together with them, and we upkeep our side, and the village keeps up their side. Yeah, so.
And it's like we also have at Enos, we also have our 3 classrooms at Enos where we upkeep those ones, you know,
Interior,
the interior, we upkeep those and stuff like that.
Vadito, we have a center in Vadito that the land belongs to the Peñasco schools, but the building is federal, belongs to Head Start. So we upkeep that.
And also in the packet, you know, they gave us all the materials they're gonna use so that people know they're safe for the environment. They're not gonna use anything that would endanger the environment or anything like that, or endanger the children in the school, like everything
Yeah,
is.
it's a new product. It's been out in the market for a while, but that's where it's all going to.
I think it's a great product. I'm familiar with 60 mil TPO membrane. In fact, that's when I'm not here at the schools, I work for the town of Taos as their facilities director, and we're currently looking at redoing a couple of our roofs. I just have one question. This is J3 Systems, and I'm familiar with J3 Systems. They're providing a 15-year material warranty and a 10-year labor warranty. My experience with the 60 mil TPO is a lot of manufacturers provide like a 30-year warranty. So I don't know.
We can inquire on that, yeah, because that is supposed to outdo, well, the torch down. Actually, it was called Bride, but that was just a brand name, Bride. It was a torch down that came into the area. It's been quite a while. So now this is on top, above Bride.
Yes.
So it's a more high quality, it's a rubberized material.
So
What is it called again?
it's TPO.
TPO?
Yeah, we call it IB. It's a membrane. It's a rubberized membrane roofing, and it's applied with heat, not flame, but with electrical heat, and it bonds into one. It'll last for.
Yeah, I see no issue with it. I just would ask of you all if you can. So here it says provide 20-year NDL labor and material. So this one says here, so we, here it says provide 15-year material warranty, 10-year labor warranty. And on these documents here by J3, so which is good. Here it states that it will provide a 20-year NDL labor warranty and material warranty. So it does have it covered here. I do know that they can warranty it up to 30 years. I just would ask that you all make sure that they warranty it, and you know, if you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out to me. I don't have my card with me to leave you all.
We see you around.
Yeah, you guys, I just want to make sure that they're providing you with the right warranty. And I know J3 Systems, I worked with them before, they do good quality work, but we want to make sure that you guys are going to get the full life expectancy of that. And and one document here, and I believe this might have been done at by the Head Start, it says 15 years, so make sure that when they do sign off on the documentation, that it's, you know, at a minimum 20-year warranty, and you can almost get a 30-year warranty on that type of
Yeah,
product.
they could, up the warranty.
Okay.
And also our Vice President, Deborah Baca, she was trying to log on. She's been having so much trouble because she's out of Albuquerque. She wants to offer the board, like, once everything's done, to go visit the school. She'd have a dinner night and just to meet and greet everybody, you know, and so you can see the work that's being done there.
Vice President.
Thank you, President Flores. I just wanted to, I don't know either, I recognize you both, but what is your role at the facility?
I am the Associate Director for Towson, Rio Rica County YDI Head Starts.
Nice, and
And
you,
I
sir?
am, my name is Floyd Trujillo, she's my wife. And,
Can you let her talk?
and I am my title is Facilities Manager. That doesn't mean nothing, but
Yes,
pretty much.
and mostly at this, just at this facility or? all
No,
over?
I cover Towson, Rio Riva, because we
Oh,
have several
nice.
other centers in Rio Riva too as well, yeah.
It was a pleasure to meet you. You gave a heartfelt presentation. It's
Yeah.
clear that you're
Thank you.
very
Appreciate it.
dedicated.
Yeah.
Getting this so we can get this done, because actually this money has to, they'll probably have to come in next week. This money has to be spent by the 31st. So that's why you were getting all the calls from Ernestine and everything. It was just because.
Right.
I was gonna say I'd love to visit, but if you invite us to visit. that
Yeah,
would be-
she will send everybody. She'll probably contact Renetta, because I know she's gonna be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So I know she's probably gonna try to drop by your office and probably get all the board's email address so they can set up something.
That's very nice.
And
Thank you.
right now, you guys have a role. Yeah, in Taos County, we have Cuesta Center, we have Arroyos del Norte.
Right,
and
We're also housed there at Arroyos in
we
the
have
public
the
school.
public school, we have Enos, we're
Yes.
housed there as well.
yeah.
And Llano Quemado, which is the one that we're working on, and Vadito in the Peñasco area. Yeah, that's in their Taos County. We used to have Costilla, we had to shut down because the enrollment wasn't there. But we were there for a few years.
15 years, probably.
Costilla, yeah.
Superintendent Mojo.
Very nice.
Yeah, and then our centers in Rio Riva are, Española, Hernandez, St. Bernardo, medium open, enrollment not there, Adeque, Benedicto, Chinayo. So we're,
That's great that there's so many head start. It's great. It's great news.
President Flores, members of the board, President Flores, I can share either their contact number with you or vice versa, whichever works, so that you can discuss this and
Yeah,
ensure that
I
they
just-
do have what.
I just
they
found
need.
here that it does say that they provide a 20-year warranty. And on one of the documents, it said 15 years, so just make sure that you guys are getting the full warranty that you can.
Yeah.
And it does state right here, that way in case you have any issues later on, where you're not on the hook having to spend the money. Thank you for your work with the Head Start. Both my daughters, when they were little, went to that Head Start, and there was some very memorable times when I was there. It was a great facility, and it serves the public and the students very well.
yeah.
Thank you all for your.
Yeah, and like I say, I wanna say it is a WPA program building.
I believe so.
And if it is, it should probably be on the national registry.
It should be.
It should be.
I went to school there. Should be.
To Head Start.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Sir, do you need help with that application? I've done lots of them. I'd be happy to help you if you want to apply.
We can look to that.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, that'd be ideal.
Very happy to.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
So will you sign it, will you sign it now?
Yeah, so we gotta vote on it
We
first.
still have to talk about.
I don't think it's- for this, I probably have to drive this
You're
to
gonna get my
Albuquerque
hand.
tomorrow morning, so.
So this is an approval item, for the board, So the item is YDI request for approval of school construction at Llano Quemado facility for their roof project. I have the documentation in front of me. The total project cost is $146,000, $146,004.32. I did review the documentation of the project. I am comfortable with approving it at this time. Does the board have any questions or concerns? Hearing none, I would just for the record, Superintendent Porter, do you have a recommendation?
President Flores, members of the board, I recommend approval of the YDI request of their school construction at Llano Quemado facility.
With that, I'll make a motion for approval.
Happy to second it.
We have a second from Vice President Cynthia. And then as I sign, can we get a roll call?
Member Concha,
Yes.
Member King,
Yes.
Secretary Trujillo,
Yes.
Vice President Spray,
Yes.
President Flores.
Yes. And as I go to sign the document, I do see that it is overseen by the PSCOC and the PSFA, so I'm pretty sure that they will have their eyes on the project and make sure that it's done.
And will you need a copy of the complete one after said?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will have Ernestine email you one. Thank you so much, we appreciate all of you guys.
And we service from, what is it, 8?
From 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
In Llano Quemado, we have an infant room, so they're 6 weeks to 2 years old, and then we have a toddler room from 2 to 3, and then we have 2 Head Start rooms from 3 to 5.
So fantastic.
If
And we have our 8 babies.
If I could just share with the board, when one of my youngest daughter went there, they had a show and tell. And I'm a farmer and I had a baby pig that was born. And I took the baby pig to the school and all the kids got to see the little pig run around. I had a little crate and it ran around for a little bit and then we put it back and took it home, but it was really exciting.
Okay, thank you all, we appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
Say goodbye.
I think it might have been the first time in history a pig went over there to the thing. It was fun.
The other side, it's
There's a draft. Okay, yes. We're so sorry. So we just got a few more items on the agenda for the board.
What was it called? Glad you spoke up.
Not too bad. Okay, so moving right along, item L is consent agenda. We have 5 items on the consent agenda. L1 is review and possible approval of staff conflict of interest forms, which are presented in your packet. L2 is approval of bilingual multicultural education program application for all schools K through 12. L3 is approval of Lore Foundation grant for Taos High School softball field team in the amount of $17,440. L4 is approval of the Lore Foundation donation to Taos High School track team for tournament on 4/6/24 in the amount of $800. And L5 is the approval of the Lore Foundation donation to Taos Middle School Lifesavers class in the amount of $4,930. Does the board have any questions regarding the items on the consent agenda or would like to pull any out for discussion?
President Flores, I don't necessarily want to pull it out for discussion at this point, but I wanted to say on the record that at some point, I would like us to review the staff conflict of interest paperwork, not right now necessarily, but I don't mind leaving on the consent agenda. But there's some items on there that I thought we could look at with more of a detailed look at a later date. I just wanted to comment on that.
Okay, I think in regards to, what I will do is I will, speak with our superintendent, and I'll also speak with, our legal team, just to make sure we are not discussing, I think, individuals in regards to maybe some, I'm not sure if we need to do an open meeting or in the executive
Either
session.
way, my stuff's open meeting, I just wanted to make a placeholder for that in the future.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other, questions or comments? So with that being said, with all the items, were in your packet for review. I will go ahead and, make a motion to approve the consent agenda, as presented. Items L1 through 5.
Okay.
We have a second from, Vice President Cynthia. Can we please get a roll call?
Member Concha,
Yes.
Member King,
Yes.
Secretary Trujillo,
Yes.
Vice President Spray,
Yes.
President Flores.
Yes. Okay, so, no, thank you. So we did table, the executive session for this meeting. I'm not sure, will it be presented at another
Yes.
meeting?
President Flores, if we could present it on our April 17th
Okay.
meeting.
Okay, item I is upcoming meeting and agenda items. I1, would the board like to, I just heard from, Vice President Cynthia, discussion on, staff conflict of interest, concern. I will speak with, our legal counsel and to see how we can best address this, just to make sure that we are not violating anybody's privacy. I know that the stuff that is in the packet is all public record, but we want to make sure that we are in our diligence to discuss personnel matters as necessary. Any other items for future topics? Board Member King?
We talked about the real estate, is that gonna be what we talked about?
So I spoke with UNN, Taos and Gino Zamora. Are they currently working on our UNN Taos lease agreement or
Yes,
documentation?
that's correct. They're working on that and the Vista Grande as well.
Okay, so when we met with UNN Taos, the last time I was advised by Chancellor Gutierrez that their real estate office is working on that paperwork and getting it all together. And once that it is finalized, soon it'll be brought over to the board for that. Yes.
What is that regarding?
So there's a lease agreement, right now between, Taos Municipal Schools and UNN Taos. Taos Municipal Schools owns the land and UNN Taos owns the facilities. So there's currently an agreement in place, which we will review in the very near future. I think, at that point in time, if I answer some of our questions. There has been discussion, and I think we should wait to further discuss it when it's an agenda item, just to ensure that we follow the Open Meetings Act. But in regards to Board Member King's request for it to be put on our future agenda, and to answer your question, there is a agreement between UNN Taos and Taos Municipal Schools, that has made UNN Taos possible. We own the land and they own the facilities.
So it's a lease agreement.
It's a lease agreement. There's been discussions about that, but we will need to wait for it to come on the agenda to discuss it.
With whom have these discussions been going on?
So I have spoken with Chancellor Gutierrez, in regards to, updating the agreement, in regards to looking at the current language that's there. UNM Taos has, we'll put it like this, UNM, who is a separate entity, than So UNM Taos has its own interests, right?
Right.
But they're overseen by UNM,
Yes, yes.
main branch.
Correct.
So they're I'm trying to figure out how to word this correctly. Taos Municipal Schools owns the land, UNM Taos owns the buildings, there's a lease agreement in place. There, at a future meeting, there will probably be some discussion as to if we continue the current lease agreement as it's been historically held, or if the board, through a request, or recommendation from UNM Taos, whatever it may be, it is brought to us, we can either deny it or deny it or approve it, or continue with the current agreement as is, just updated. Does that kind of make any sense?
How long has this been going on, this conversation?
This conversation's been going on since about a month, where I asked Chancellor Gutierrez to look at the agreement and bring it forward to the board so that we can make sure that it's up to date let me see. I think it just needs to be re-looked at and you know, re-discussed, re-evaluated, and
President Flores,
yes,
would you like it, for us to put this on the next board agenda so we can
I think it'd be good.
have discussions on
I
that?
think it'd be good, and I think we need to actually reach out to Chancellor Gutierrez and have her people that she works for be here to express any, so at the end of the day, this board makes the decision as to any future changes or amendments, or we'll continue to uphold it as is. So we need to have that discussion moving forward.
I have a request, and I don't know if it'll be honored, but I'd like to make a request that if we ever are entertaining an idea of selling or giving away or transferring property rights, that we make sure it's not just at one board meeting, then we have a chance to thoroughly discuss it at more than one meeting.
I don't think that would even, I think first of all.
We talked about it with Vista Grande,
Yeah,
for example, yeah,
of course, and there's a legal process to do all that.
right.
It involves our legal team, and thorough review from the board.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So, yeah, so let's put that UNM, agreement on the next agenda. And then what we can do, and Superintendent Mondragon, if we can both reach out to legal counsel and see how we can address some concerns regarding staff conflict of interest.
President Flores, if I can also make a request from our legal counsel and our negotiating team for collective bargaining. We do have our special board meeting on April 10th, and I know it's a jam-packed agenda, but if we could have an executive closed session to discuss collective bargaining, where we are in the process, what we're looking at coming up, because we are looking at starting negotiations as soon as we finish spring budget, and then speak with the board about it. The April 10th would seem like a good time to do it if possible.
President Flores, I think if I recall from my notes, J&G said that that would already be 4 to 5 hours, which I get it, that it's going to be. So just, is there anything else on the agenda besides what Renetta's asking for?
That would be the
Besides
only
J&G?
item. that
Yeah.
we would put on there.
Just everyone be prepared if you're sleeping back in your cocoa or whatever.
Is that the interview process?
I think that's when they're presenting.
So the application process will be closing, I think April 9th. And then I think around there, we're gonna have a special meeting so that they could bring forward the applicants for our review.
Right.
That's April 10th, but when is is that a regular meeting?
Our regular, no, it's special, our regular meeting is on the 17th.
On the 17th, that'll be is that our next meeting?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the following week, if we need be, we can wait, we'll hold off on,
See, for some reason, that seems like that's 3 weeks away. We usually have a meeting every 2 weeks. Why we're having a special meeting? Well,
the springtime starts the one board meeting a month. And that's where we're falling in the one board meeting for the regular.
I like meeting twice more.
Don't worry. It's just a
When you're
JG.
reading a little
You'll
bit
be
of
seeing a
that.
lot of us with JG. Thanks God. You won't miss us till May.
President Martin, that was one of the components about real estate. The other one was our real estate inventory of the district that we were talking about for teacher, yeah, staff.
That's very important for Member King. So, Superintendent Mondragon, can I ask if you can work with Vice President Cynthia if she obliges? She did some work, getting documentation on all properties owned by, Taos Municipal School District. And I think it'd be very important for this board to, review the properties that we do own. There has been discussion about looking forward to any possibility, if it be a bonding or grant or legislative appropriations, to construct, teacher, affordable housing. So if we could just kind of research that and see when would be a good time to bring that forward. And I know you have some documentation
Yes,
for that.
I'm happy to work with you.
And we'll just figure out how we could get that presented.
Okay.
And I think it's a discussion that's long overdue. I don't believe that since I've been on the board for the last 11 years that we've ever discussed the full encompassment of the properties that we own and kind of what they're serving as. I do know that we own some vacant land in various areas. We own land adjacent to some of our school sites that could just be utilized for teacher housing, or could be looked at for other community needs, school needs.
Also, I know that the governor this last session tried to get a housing department. She's so concerned about this that I think we would have a lot of support.
Well, at the next legislative session, I do understand that it's gonna be another
Try again.
big topic on that. So if we start lining ourselves up as a district with Board Member King's recommendation to put that on the agenda, that we could line ourselves up to possibly
Right, that's
receive
good
some kind
timing.
of initial funding.
I'll be happy to work with you.
We'll put that
Thank
on
you
the
for
April
asking me that.
17th board meeting.
So April 17th board meeting. Okay, we talking about land, April 17th board meeting. Can we go alfalfa on any of those pieces?
You know
We're
what?
growing prairie dogs.
The way you
That's what
store
we-
your land, you could probably help a lot. And do you know how to do prairie dogs?
Yes, yes, I do. But, I think that's a conflict of interest.
I think it's
Okay, so it's been a good meeting. It's nice to see all you board members, and superintendent and clerk. So
Secretary, you made it.
our next regular board meeting is April 17th, 2024. This will be at Taos High School. So,
Susan.
yeah.
Yes,
That's not fun. And it'll be at the regular time, 6 P.M. If the board has any questions or comments regarding any items for the future agenda, please reach out to myself or the superintendent, and we'll be sure to see if we could accommodate and get those items put on the agenda. I want to thank Maria and Christina for being here. Mr. Hall, thank you for your presence and your comments. It's nice to see some community members interested in what the board does. So with that, item J is adjournment. Second?
Oh, second.
Second.
Long now.
Ready?
Call for the roll.
Member Concha,
Yes.
Member King,
Yes.
Secretary Trujillo, Vice President Spray, President Flores.
Yes.
Oh, I like the teacher.